how do I move on from a toxic relationship pattern and the automatic negative thinking that might suck us back in? So today what I want to do is I want to address this question by walking us through a sequence of reflective questions in order to, let's say, decode any of the false assumptions that we might have, and also install more generous and allowing thoughts and feelings so that our energy can flow more freely. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Brianna MacWilliam, and I am a licensed and board-certified creative arts therapist, author, and educator with more than 15 years in the field, helping adults struggling with insecure attachment go from self-doubting to self-sovereign so they can attract those soul-shaking, passionate partnerships that they want without having to talk in circles around their feelings for hours or even years on end with no tangible result. Today, I'm going to be sharing a clip of a live stream event that took place inside my private Facebook groups, which people can access once they've purchased one of my online courses. If you're interested in finding out if you might have insecure attachment, check out the link in the caption of this video. You'll be able to take an easy 4-question quiz and find out your attachment style, plus a detailed explanation. Now, if you like what you see in here, and you haven't yet, make sure that you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I put up videos once or twice a week, and sometimes I will do occasional live streams through my YouTube channel, and I wouldn't want you to miss out. So I want to, let's call this segment 6 questions to heal automatic negative thoughts and also release you from toxic relationship patterns. Okay, and this is a tool that I refer to as a focus wheel, and this is a term inspired by Abraham Hicks. And this is going to help reset your mindset and your perspective so that you can stop an automatic negative spiral before it happens, which can sometimes lead us straight back into a toxic relationship because we are convinced that this is the best that we can do, or because our attachment system thinks that we need them to survive. So the first question that I would have you ask is, or that I would ask you, are what are the contrasts or points of friction that you're experiencing right now, internally or externally in the world of form? For example, I'm just going to assume the perspective of someone who may be stuck in a cyclical push-pull roller coaster toxic relationship. Sometimes I refer to these, if it applies, as the anxious avoidant trap. I'm attracted to someone that stimulates extremely uncomfortable feelings for me. I see myself acting in ways that I feel embarrassed about, including putting up with behaviors that feel inconsiderate and disrespectful, and I don't like how little power I seem to have over my willingness to do something about it. They might say, well, I want a partner that respects me, that loves me, that wants to spend time with me, that enjoys being a part of a reciprocal relationship, that is emotionally intimate, that doesn't run away when I want to connect with them, or doesn't over-control me and smother me when I feel like I need a bit of space. So the second question is to look at, let's make this measurable, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are these contrasts or conflicts or points of friction, how significantly are they impacting your energetic vibe, let's say? So let's say that 1 is kind of a low vibe, not feeling very good, and 10 is a high vibe, good feeling place. So how deeply are you being impacted by whatever is presenting itself to you in your experience right now? Okay. So that leads us to question number 3, which is, what beliefs may still be lying beneath the surface that are fueling these, what I'm going to call energetic set points, okay, that no longer serve you? So in other words, what negative thoughts, stories, questions, or beliefs do you harbor about yourself and tend to fill up your headspace with kind of an anxious preoccupation, which prevents you from kind of going with the flow, from trusting? There's a couple things that I find people come up against when asking this question. And the first one is, I call it the I'm the exception block. Okay, so for example, someone might say, particularly someone who's trying to escape the toxic relationship, they might say, you know, it's painful to think about this because, and to think about the things that I want and why I want them, because I can't imagine that exists in the world for me. You could show me all the statistics in the world, you could show me all the happiest couples in the world, and still I would think, yeah, it's possible for them, but not for me. So that's the I'm the exception block. So now question number 4 is, what new beliefs would you have to adopt in order to expand into what I'm going to call a new energetic circumference? In other words, what thoughts would feel better and open up the possibilities for you? Now, the easiest way to do something like that is to simply find the opposite of these negative beliefs. One of the ones we identified was, I'm never enough, or I'm not beautiful. So when you're constructing these beliefs around what might shift that for you, you have to start adding qualifying phrases. So for example, I love knowing that true beauty is more than skin deep. While I acknowledge and recognize and have compassion for the part of myself that feels preoccupied and wants to fix the problems of attraction by assigning it to external appearances, I understand that that part of myself expresses a wound that needs to be cared for, and that I can assume responsibility as a parent for that aspect of my inner child, giving it the love and the recognition of the beauty that does exist there on the most essential level, so that in time that part of myself can soften and loosen and become much more relaxed and confident and sunk into the true beauty that does exist there, because all of life is a reflection of the divine spark that exists in everything. Now, the fifth question would be, what can you do that would reflect taking action on a new belief like that? How might someone like that behave? How would they respond in thought and in action to the contrasts or conflicts that you might be experiencing in your life right now? For me, I always look to, if ever I find myself getting down on myself as a woman, I'm a cisgendered heterosexual woman, I just go on Instagram or I go online and I search for women who are living out loud, living their message, just being so authentically themselves, warts and all. And I feel so inspired by that. Releasing not just a care about the judgment of others, but also a care about the judgment of the internal space. Those are individuals who have released their inner critic, or they're in dialogue with it, and they're assuming an active stance towards it. What is beyond your control in affecting an outcome? How would the universe need to show up for you responding to the action, the inspired action steps you are taking? Mike Dooley, he wrote a book called Leveraging the Universe, which I think is fabulous, and he's got a great exercise in that book. He basically creates a pyramid, and in the pyramid, on one side, he says what you can do, and then on the other side, it's what the universe would have to do. Assuming control of what you can and surrendering control of what you can't. Going back to the original question, you might look at what are some of the new beliefs that I have adopted. I might be able to now take action steps that would allow the universe to hit back the ball I just pitched, right? I might join a support group. I might start taking music lessons. I might, I'm just going through the things that I did, go to workshops, make a bucket list and do one of those things every month, putting me in the vicinity of things that do resonate with me on some level. And sometimes it helps if you steer this in the direction of something that isn't necessarily relationship focused. Like if you want to lift a heavy weight and the only thing you ever did was exercise your biceps, you're never going to be able to lift that weight, because you also have to be able to bend your knees, use your lower back, use your buttocks and your hamstrings and your thighs. So when we hone in with such tremendous focus on one aspect of something, you have to realize you have to stretch that view, that view and focus beyond what you think is that one thing that's going to fix that one problem, because if you don't, you're never actually going to find the solution to that problem. So what would the universe have to do? Well, the universe would have to offer up options for me to go to a workshop that's affordable and matches my schedule. The universe would have to make sure that the right people that I would connect with would show up to the Toastmasters meeting that day. To bring this segment to a close, I wanted to offer these 6 questions to help you kind of dig in to how you might start to reframe negative thought patterns, because oftentimes it is our negative thought patterns and the stories that we are telling ourselves that have us putting up with certain things in relationships that are not serving us anymore. That is the ball that the universe is pitching to me, and am I ready to hit that ball out of the park?